It's almost Christmas, everybody. Ah. I'm not editing this video, so there's going to be a lot of awkward pauses and stuff. I figured it's more real and honest anyway when there's no edits, but when you do edit a video, it does feel more flowy and it does have a bit of an entertainment value to it because editing does require a bit of use of rhythm and a feeling of music or a sense of music when you edit. It's not making sense. Doesn't matter. I want to talk to you about INFJs and why being an INFJ is like winning the lottery. Being an INFJ is quite rare, as you know. Most of you in the MBTI world know this already. That INFJs are rare, and there's not that many of us within a population. There's 1%. And I'm kind of skeptical of that because I feel like that's like, that's a sample from the United States because the MBTI did originate from, or maybe it didn't. Carl Jung sounds like German, so I don't know. But I feel like the population sample is more Western than it is Eastern or, Middle Eastern, etc. And so it's not really accurate representation of maybe Asians or Middle Easterners or Africans. But I do believe it for the most part. I do feel like being an INFJ is not something that's very common. So there is very little of us within a group of 100 people. There's only one INFJ, and for that one INFJ to be male is even less possible. So as an INFJ male, as an INFJ man, you are the least possible chance of ever, existing type. And I am an INFJ male. It explains a lot of things. Like sometimes I do feel like that there's a bit of disconnect between myself and the general human race, which is fine because I think INFJs, when we find out about MBTI, we kind of put ourselves in this box or this label, and we end up separating ourselves way too much and it's kind of dangerous because you find, actually, if you just, many people are very much alike you more than you thought when you just kind of open your mind up a little bit and be like, hey, you seem like a decent person. I'd like to get to know you. Where are our commonalities? We're both human beings. That's a big, out in the universe, if there's millions and millions of aliens or what have you, we will connect with human beings probably the most. So in that way, you can see yourself as having a lot in common with a lot of people on planet Earth. But outside of that, yes, there is a bit of a difference between INFJs and the general population. So why, you'd think that it's like a disadvantage, right? Like, you're in a minority. You're just like one separate person from 100 other people or 99 other people, and you're surrounded by them. You're like, it's like impossible to not to really have somebody else be just like you. Whereas like if you're a sensor type, there's a more higher probability that there's somebody within that population that has the same exact personality type as you and has a brain that functions very similar to your own, and you can connect with those people. Not the case for INFJs. Not the case. So how is this beneficial to us? Because if we're so rare, you would think it's a disadvantage. The benefit is that being an INFJ puts you in a mental state. Okay, it puts you in a different mental state. It puts you in a place where you are forced to be isolated in your mind, mentally and spiritually and emotionally. You're separated from the masses from the get-go. It's like your default is to be separated. With that, you have a lot of time for reflection, a lot of time to see yourself as yourself and not be confused by the people that are around you. Because more than likely than not, you will be spending significant amount of time being isolated. Whether that be growing up or different times in your life or different time periods, because we all know that there are people that will come and go in our lives. It's an advantage. It definitely is. Because when you're an INFJ, you already have this ability, this amazing intuition that is honestly the best of all types. We have that introverted intuition. That's our main function. And so we are inclined to have deeper, in-depth thinking and analysis of the world around us. And you put isolation on top of that, you're essentially Buddha. You're essentially Gandhi, spiritual, out in the mountains, isolated, meditating, understanding life for what it really is. And more often than not, the ones that do have that spiritual journey, the ones that do meditate and think about what all this really means, like all this illusion, this dream that we have on planet Earth, what is it really for? What are we supposed to get out of it? Are we doing the right things? Are we going for the right things? Are we pursuing the right things? It's all up for debate. But the more you do think about it, which INFJs are forced to do that, the more you realize that there's a lot of things that are not as big of a deal as you thought they were. That's just the truth. You will think many people in this world believe that there is some sort of weight to everything and everything has to be so freaking serious and so life or death situation, and everything has just such a burden on people. But as an INFJ, I realize, maybe not just an INFJ, but as a person who meditates and thinks about things more deeply and in a more in-depth manner, I've come to realize within the 20 years that I have been on this planet Earth that to take everything or many things or any single thing way too seriously is really just pointless. I'm not saying life is pointless, but to spend your life making too big of a deal out of anything is a waste of time. I want you to really understand why, as an INFJ, that you have these realizations that okay, so I'm on this planet Earth and I've realized that there's things that shouldn't bother me at all. You're on a fast track to happiness. You are on a fast track to just having peace in your life. So when you figure that out, you realize, yeah, things shouldn't bother me as much as they should. You end up just really realizing this stillness in life and this stoicism. I don't know if I'd want to call it stoicism. It sounds very negative. It has this negative connotation to it. But I'd say stillness, a peaceful stillness that is not really completely achievable until death, honestly, or through meditation. Meditation would probably be the closest thing, or sleep. But if you can have that stillness within your waking hours, by golly, you will be peaceful and you will have true content in this life. That's nirvana. That's reaching the highest vibration of yourself, the highest, higher self that is available to you if you seek it out and you embrace it. As INFJs, we have that naturally. It comes to us naturally. And because that comes to us naturally, we don't have as much to worry about. We're on the fast track to having a good life. And other people don't have that. So you're very lucky as an INFJ to have that ability, to be on the fast track, to be on the elevator when everybody else has to take the stairs to get to that point. Am I like always like untouchable? Am I always just a super chill dude? No, not at all. But do I have an advantage because I have figured many of these things out? Yeah, I think so. I really do. I really believe, like, I can swear on my life that there are things that I've figured out in this life, like psychologically and mentally, emotionally, that has helped me a lot to get over a lot of things, to give me a lot of just like a feeling of calmness and stillness in this life. It took me 28 years. I am 28, but nevertheless, I did figure a lot of things out. And I think it's just my default. It's just the nature of being an INFJ. If you're a younger INFJ, or you're an INFJ, but you haven't figured these things out yet, you will. Given that you are staying healthy mentally and you are a decent person, you will figure these things out. Before many others, that is. So INFJs, and anybody else that's watching this, I'm sorry to say, but INFJs kind of have it pretty good. And INFJs, if you don't accept that, if you don't understand that and recognize that, you're really doing yourself a disservice. You got something, you essentially have a superpower. Okay? You have a superpower. Use it wisely. That's all I have to say today. Thank you for watching. I wish I could have done this video on my mirrorless Sony camera, but sometimes I got to do it more like more straight up to the cell phone type thing. And honestly, sometimes I feel more authentic just doing a video like this. I might end up just doing all my videos like this because I feel so much more real. There's something about like having way too much equipment that makes me feel like, I feel like I need to put on a performance or something, and I don't really feel like that's me all the time. Maybe for more aesthetic, artistic videos, I'll use like more fancy cameras, but for something like this, I feel like doing this is like perfect. Anyway, I just want to say, like, right now I'm at 99 subscribers. That's so cool. Like, that's amazing. I started YouTubing or making vlogs January of this year, and now I'm at 99 subscribers, and I just need one more to get 100. So hopefully you subscribe, then I'll reach 100. And it doesn't concern me too much, but it would be nice if you did subscribe. And if you also comments, what do you think? Does this all make sense to you? Do you have any questions? Feel free to comment, and I will be more than happy to have a further discussion with you. Otherwise, I'm Jays. You're a chill motherfucker. Thanks for watching. I might upload one more video before we hit 2020. Wow, an end of a decade. That's awesome, right? That's pretty awesome. A lot of cool things happened in 2010s for me. So it's amazing to reflect on some of that stuff. I don't want to give too many details. I want to keep it more to myself. But yeah, the 2010s was amazing. It was an amazing time for my life. Very, very heartbreaking, but also very exciting. Some of my hardest years were within this decade. And I know that coming into 2020, I will be making more YouTube videos, making more short form videos, just pumping out content, making the world a better place, attempting to, and just spreading positivity, man. Just like trying to be a positive force in this world, trying to be like something that's good, you know, like none of that bullshit, none of that negative energy. I don't have time for that. Okay? Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. Hopefully I'll see you once again before we get into 2020, but if we don't, happy holidays, whatever you're celebrating. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this community with me. I really want to let you know that every single one of you that watches and like, you know, consistently and just supports me, you guys are just like, I'm so thankful for that, like super thankful. And I want you guys to just enjoy it. Okay. Thanks so much. I will catch you in the next video. All right. Take care.